Hello, my rabid fans. I am Clifford Stemmy, the pop song professor, and welcome to my channel where we explain songs like Half Alive by Make of It. Reverse that. Anyway, Make of It, fantastic song. I think it's super groovy, very fun, and there's a cool story behind it. Josh Taylor says, we worked with this guy named Mark, who's a famous producer. He asked in one of the writing sessions, do you ever get mad? If so, would a Half Alive fan who doesn't speak English be able to tell if you were just from your tone? And Josh was like, I don't know if I ever have gotten mad. I think I'm always happy.
Let's be mad.
And 45 minutes later, he says they had a song ready to go. He references what he calls an anger-sized hole missing in our songs. There were stories that I was restricting myself from writing because I wanted them to be perfectly processed with happy endings and to tie everything together. And the thing with an angry song, if you're going to deal with that anger appropriately in, a 3-minute song, you're not going to be able to tie everything together. You're just going to have to be like, hey, this thing happened and I'm angry. That's what Make of It is, even though I've listened to it like 10 times and I don't know, like I feel the emotional intensity in it, but I wouldn't have said anger at first. Yeah, I'd love to hear if you guys thought that the song sounded angry on your first listen of it, because I don't know, it didn't hit me super hard. But the lyrics are beautiful, guys. He says, want this love like everyone at the beginning, which kind of suggests that maybe he's angry that he doesn't have the love he wants. And maybe that's like a romantic relationship. If you remember Summerland, it was about a relationship that happened for the summer but then went nowhere. And oh, look, another reference to a season. Winter got me feeling down. Next season I'll come around. What is the next song on this album? It's Summerland. Now, summer doesn't come after winter, but spring does, and spring is, a time for fresh opportunities and love and all this. Reflecting back on it, you were my only friend, you really helped me out, but even now I want this love like everyone, I want this love like everyone else, and it starts to really sound like it's about a relationship that fell apart, and that could be the thing that he was angry about when he started writing this. He says in the chorus, we ran aground. It's really, again, seems like it's about a couple. I heard it loud, can't pretend I ain't down, aka sad. Didn't plan to never land, just never thought that we could drown. So that's like he's talking about the relationship and it died and fell apart and all this. And he says, therapy saw me naked, like I exposed my feelings and I talked it through when I went to therapy and talked to a counselor. 26 years I've waited. Life isn't what I made it. My past is what I make of it. So there's a level of a lack of control. My life isn't what I made it. Like I tried to make it something else and it turned out differently. My past is what I make of it. And now I can either sit here and be angry about all of that, or I can, process it differently, look at it from a different perspective, look for the good, learn from it, whatever. Whatever he wants to do, he can make of it, whatever he wants to make of it. And he continues on in a post-chorus, like these new shoes, I'll break them in, kind of this idea of like this new situation I find myself, I'll move forward. Old best friends, I'll pray for them. So like my past, there's a lot of references to the past here, old best friends. I can think of like 5 old best friends that I had at one point where I would have said as a kid, like, yeah, that's my best friend. And now I don't really talk to them that much anymore. And I feel like this wistfulness for that time when I was close with them. He says, I'll pray for them. He says, all my friends, I'll pray for them. And repeats that as he continues to think on the past and the endings that have led to, a little bit of loneliness. And we really hear that sadness show up in verse 2. Lost what I have never held, hardly recognize myself, brought to the deepest end, the saddest point. God help me breathe again. Tell me, have I been alone all along? Like, did I ever actually have any of those friends? Was all of this fake? And he's challenging himself. He's feeling challenged emotionally about his past. Like, was I just lying to myself? Like, were none of those friends real? Were none of the good times really good? And I think that's something that happens to us when we get really depressed and really sad, is we start to question the validity of all the good things that have happened in our lives. That's one of the really sucky parts of depression, is it starts to take away the good memories even and tell you that like there's no happy future because there's no happy past. You don't know what happiness is. And he's really asking God in this case, like, help me to breathe again, feel alive again. Tell me that I wasn't alone all along. Like, you were there, friends were there, etc., etc. And he ends the whole song on the lines, want this love like everyone, want this love like everyone else. And he's had it. He's had that love. He'll have it again. Right now, he doesn't feel it. And it's souring all the other experiences. And even if I can't hear it in the music itself, I can hear it and I can see it in the lyrics. There is anger here, and there's that question of like, it's not fair for me to have to feel this way. I should be able to be happy. I think that's what the anger must come from here, because I've felt like that too. Like, I shouldn't have to deal with this. And honestly, I think I just sounded angrier right now in trying to paraphrase him than I think the entire song itself sounds, but still, I would love to hear what you guys think of the song. I think it's a great song. I love everything Half Alive does, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts. If you have a song that you'd like me to try explaining, please hit me up. And in the meantime, be sure to always change your air filters. Now, that is important.